Okay, so I'm just getting back into the iBooster thing after that shock the last time. So, yeah, great shocks, great shocks. Played around with it today. So I took this. This is the adapter plate off the golf side. So we just have the plate. So I offered up the adapter plate, and so here is the original brake master cylinder hydraulic assist servo. So you had a feed in here from the brake reservoir in here, and this was your hydraulic assist in that. Used to go into a loop. This came from that. The power came from that bomb thing I was telling you about in the last video. So this is much simpler. This is what it used to be, and then your master cylinder went on here. So instead of having this big thing, you had this. So it saved so much space. Funny thing is, this clevis pin, this clevis off that kind of fits right on this. Only thing is, obviously this is too short. We need to be 217, I think it is, out to here, but that's good. Well, that's kind of like same thread as that. So anyway, let's take that off. So what I did today was I offered it up in all its orientations, matching up with the bolt holes here. And, you know, sure enough, nothing really gets quite right. It's usually kinked off, whole thing's kinked off a bit, because these two need to be absolutely perpendicular. That's what you need to be. So I went round incrementally, and there's one position where it kind of fits, but not really. So I decided, right, let's just hook it up and see what does work. We're going to need to put a spacer here. I think we're talking, what are we talking there? It's in there. So let's say, yeah, 10 mil will do it. Take any discrepancy. 10 mil, because this in here is fouling the original iBooster kind of aluminium. So yeah, offered up, centered it, got it aligned, and another weird thing happened. See these notches? This one here and that one there. When this is vertical, those are perfectly horizontal, which these holes are, and they align perfectly to these. So what I need to do is drill another 2 holes here along the lines of here in there. So ain't that great? So a nice little touch there. So it's a coincidence. I'm embracing these coincidences. I think that's what it is. But so that's what we're going to do. We're going to we have these to align where our new holes are going to be. So we'll do that and get them drilled. Okay, so here we go. Job done. See how this fits. Yeah, okay, so this is going to go like, it's going to go like that. This is going to go in here. A plate made up for the back of this. That will make up the difference. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that. How's about that then? That is wonderful. This is the original whatchamacallit. Obviously that's not going to fit, but like I said, we can get a remote reservoir or something to fit there. So the good news is it fits very well. Other good news, look, the reservoir, let's see, being universal in some way, they all fit just lovely. Only thing is that with this reservoir, it has that little tab to keep the positive pressure on the these things when it's in place, which this and that don't have. So when you put the rubber bungs in, it kind of needs that pressure to keep it in place. It needs that. It has this pin. This pin goes in across there. What you had was this guy going across in here, and that kind of kept it in place. Now it's nice that this fits, and it would be awesome to keep this as like making it look as original as possible, and it would fit lovely. But and also the connector, the brake, I mean it's only a 2-pin, doesn't really matter. So in the meantime we'll get a kind of a low prof. It's also the right angle, at the right angle for to keep it all level. So all these are in different kind of angles and stuff like that when they're in, depending on the angle of your firewall that the iBooster is connected to. But this obviously is pitched correctly for the Audi firewall. So only other minor mod, brake lines be remade. I'll remake them, tidy them up, so then they go in there. So next up with that, we've got this mounted. Next up is getting the right distance to the clevis pin. Getting that distance sorted out. So we had 207 between face and the clevis pin itself. So 207 is out here. So we've got to make up that to have that sit there. Again, it's all you need to do is we can thread something onto that, Loctite it, and then have the rest of a threaded bar into that. So just another quick scan of this using what we have, rather than getting a new sort of spacer made, so that'll sit out, you know, that 10-12 mil that I need. Why not use what we already have? So like so. See, I can go on there like so, because I punched out the other two captive bolts there, so you can use that. Now we only need to maximize space, because the more that this will move out into the engine bay, the more that obviously goes up, risk of hitting the top of the or the bottom of the bonnet. So trying to keep it as close as possible, so we're going to use this, but all we need is that 10-12 mil. So what I can do is I can throw this on a machine and I'm going to get them just to skim off the top layer, and we'll reuse these ones rather than those because they're countersunk, so we can't really use those, but I want to use the whole face there, and we can rotate that around so it'll sit like so it'll sit like that. but we'll just skim it down so it gets down to that level there. So that it'll do it. So I had to make up that. So I had an idea, right? You can get these things which have it's a male female rod. So your female sort of screws over this, you can lock it in there, and then you have the male side of things, you screw this on. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then I was just messing around in here, having a look. I've got a whole bucket of old nuts and bolts I was using to build something a while ago. And I was like, yeah, let's have a look in there. And I was like, oh, look what I found. Of a coupler. Like that. I was like, look at that. Stainless threaded bar, no less. Right, let's do this properly, man. Oh, yeah, hang on. See? Make sure they're good and tight. So you do that, and then you put that on. It seems Lady Luck is shining her light upon us. Rather than have to mark and cut that, I found a length which is impeccably just the right length. And there we are with one more turn. We are at exactly 2:15 to the end. Pretty much bang on 2:07 in the center there. And there we have a finished product. Just need to tighten it up. Lock all these in place. I'll throw a bit of Loctite on those. That is how we do it. This is going far too well. Once I get this done, then the whole thing can go in, and then it's wiring up after and figuring out the reservoir, which I'm not going to go cable tying it, but we'll go and find something, go to a scrapyard and find something that fits. Et voila. Good and tight. Get this machine next. In there. Done. Done. Popped across the hedge. On a lathe. Layers off. Down to what I wanted. Let's get it fitted. Ta-da! 2:15, you say? Bang on 2:15. Bang on. That's it. Yep. Deadly. Okay. That's it. We're done there. We can I'll fill it up and get ready to put in some nuts and bolts on the other side. Let's see how much room I have to deal with. That goes in there. Ah, yeah, we're good. Oh, yeah. After a bit of contortion and a few busted knuckles, it's in. And it's all in, and you can actually feel it when you put your foot in the pedal. Get that. Yeah, you have that lever action now that you'd have normally. And then with the power assist, it'll improve things ever more. I'm extremely happy with that. Did it fit? Yes, it did. Good. Happy days. Okay. That's it. She's in. Next up, I'll hook up the brake lines. I'll do a bit of a nice job on that, try and keep those nice and tidy. And get those in there. Be reorientation. Might even do a flare of the pipes, but we'll see how tidy they work out. And then we'll do a quick test on them as well. I'll leave the brakes over at it and see if it works. And that's for another night. Time out. I'm out.